good night to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to the live broadcast. We are streaming live on TikTok right now, Facebook, and YouTube as well. All at David K. Welch across all social media platforms, all right? So good night to everyone joining on the live broadcast. Hope that you are doing good tonight. I wanna start with the burning topic tonight on everyone's mind, I hope, and that's Philip Edward Alexander. Just run the visuals, Suma. Right? Minister, visuals.
In some other news, the Indian High Commission.
I want to go with Minister Alexander tonight, simply because right now, Trinidad and Tobago, Philip, we know that Philip Alexander is a boisterous activist. And Philip says a lot. Today, Minister Alexander spoke to the media, spoke with CNC3 Akash Samaru outside of the parliament, and it was in regards to his, what they call it, inflammatory statements. As we know right now, Venezuela has a lot to say about Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, the Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro believes that Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar has, quote-unquote, lost her mind. That's what Nicolas Maduro is saying, that Kamala lost her mind. And maybe the next comment will be the whole government lost the mind, because CNC3, PNM Media will do anything possible to bring this government down and to drag the government name through the dirt. And they would look for any possible reason to do so. So before we move on, I want to open the phone lines. Go ahead and open the phone lines for me. The number to call is 430, sorry, click the second one. 483-3208, that's the phone number. 483-3208 is the number to call tonight, because I think tonight your opinion will matter most. So 483-3208. So for everyone watching right now, for everyone that would usually call after the show, don't call after the show, call during the show now and get your point across. 483-3208. Again, 483-3208 is the number to call. I want to go ahead and get to Mr. Alexander, to Minister Alexander and the CNC3 news clipping, because Minister Alexander said, unfortunately, that India stands ready to nuke Venezuela for Trinidad and Tobago. And these are the very comments that the media and the opposition is against. Restart that clip, please. All right, so let's get to Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this.
In some other news, the Indian High Commission is declining to comment on claims made by Government Senator Philip Alexander, who posted on social media that India is prepared to use nuclear weapons to support this country against Venezuela.
However, this afternoon, Alexander himself admitted he has no information to suggest that any such arrangement with India exists. Akash Samaru has his story.
Modi and India have us held gently in the palm of his hands, and he will nuke Venezuela. You think it's Trump alone you're dealing with? Touch Trinidad, they'll see.
It's quite a bold statement made by the senator, who is also a minister in the Ministry of Housing. An assertion that has drawn criticism from the opposition leader regarding the overall conduct of the government at this time.
You're making statements that could, inflammatory statements that really do not help us.
The Indian High Commission to this country told CNC3 News it has no comment on Senator Alexander's statement. So we asked the senator himself on his way to Parliament today if he had any information that informed his statement that India stands ready to assist this country with nuclear intervention.
I have no information on that. We have a Minister of CARICOM and Foreign Affairs, and he would be the best person to talk.
But CNC3 News asked why he would make such a strong statement given the context of recent tensions in the region.
Oh my gosh, it was a live video. And yes, in live videos there would be hyperbole. But the reality of the situation is The President of the United States of America didn't just send 3 warships, he sent an Ohio-class submarine sitting somewhere at the bottom of the ocean in the southern Caribbean. Trinidad is protected.
Alexander said he wanted to underscore that this country does not stand alone. And he said it seems as if only the opposition has a problem with what he said.
Did Venezuela call my name? Or is Amory Brown preoccupied with me?
But the senator, who had previously said the Prime Minister instructed her members to stay in their lane, told the CNC3 News that he intends to take that same advice on this regional matter.
I think I am going to stay more in my lane after this, yeah?
Now, that's the thing, I think he should have stayed in his lane, for real. I'll leave it up to the Foreign Affairs Ministry to deal with it. And honestly, I know Minister Alexander, Philip Alexander, like to see that we are friends. And in this regard, the media is looking for something to attack the government on this government, or they're looking for something. And I think that Philip gave them something to go on the government with. And now it's putting pressure on Kamala Persad-Bissessar to even have to respond to anything like this. In fact, Venezuela, the airstrike out at sea, all right? The airstrike out at sea with Venezuela. This here, Trinidad, the bombing of the boat, this, people just want to say and talk and you know, make Trinidad and Tobago seem as though we are somehow complicit or reliable for all of that out at sea, when in reality we are not. I don't want people to forget what Gary Aboud said, and don't twist words right now. Don't forget what Gary Aboud said in this regard. And Gary Aboud is accusing Kamala Persad-Bissessar, SCMP, of war crimes and said that she should answer to international court and all that nonsense on the same CNC3. What CNC3 seeks to do now is destabilize this government. At least it looks like that. It's alleged, but it looks like that they have a plot to destabilize this government through any means possible, by bringing Gary Aboud on the Morning Brew, and then by running. We know, Philip, that's the thing. And yes, I think now Mr. Alexander needs to recognize that he is a senator, and everything that he says is going to be looked at as coming directly from the government, 100%. It's going to be looked at coming directly from the government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and he should be very much careful in that regard about saying anything that could really jeopardize the government and the government's position. Because to go on a live, and I know how it feels to be on a live, we all know, for those of us that do lives, the comments, the views, everything gets to our head, and then we start to say and do all sorts of things, all right? And this was a live, and in that live, the minister noted that, you know, India stands ready to defend Trinidad and Tobago basically against Venezuela. Now, ironically, Gary Griffith is also condemning the statements by Minister Alexander, and Gary Griffith is roughly saying the same thing that I am saying, and that I think we are all saying at this point in time, that the comments from the minister seeks to destabilize or put pressure on the government in that regard, on Kamala Persad-Bissessar as Prime Minister. You all can let me know what you think. The phone lines are open. 483-3208. Once more, 483-3208 is the number to call if you'd like to be a part of the program today. All right? But while all of this is happening, I want Trinidad and Tobago to not forget that we have a budget coming up, and it is the Finance Minister, Colin Imbert, that's literally stated that the government would be in a $15 billion deficit. All right, that's a burning topic. That's a huge topic to not forget about. So don't let Venezuela and the nonsense that's going on there with Venezuela and Maduro, you know, make you forget anything. And just in case that you think that Venezuela was ever on Trinidad and Tobago's side, Venezuela, Maduro is not even on the side of his own people. He ran over his own people during COVID-19. Skip to the end of this video. Skip to the end. He ran over his own people during COVID-19. Let you not forget that. Let us all not forget that. We, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and Kamla Persad-Bissessar can never be on the side of this. We could never be on the side of it. Kamla Persad-Bissessar said in 2023, that you touch one, you touch all. And she's not saying it in the regards of Venezuela. She's speaking in the regards of Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana. Because it is Venezuela that has always been threatening Trinidad and Tobago and threatening Guyana. I don't care what nobody else say. It is Venezuela that threatened Guyana. It is Venezuela now that is threatening Trinidad and Tobago. We have senators speaking up, defending the country. And some things we could agree with, some things we won't agree with. The way in which it was handled, some of us might agree, some of us might disagree. But the reality is, Trinidad and Tobago first. And I applaud Minister Alexander for putting Trinidad and Tobago first. And that's his speech, that's the conversation. Trinidad and Tobago first, everything else second. So whether or not you like it or not, too bad. Honestly, too bad. Trinidad and Tobago first. Delcy Rodriguez, who I didn't even know she was VP, but Nicolas Maduro believes again that Kamla Persad-Bissessar as Prime Minister has lost her mind. The only person lost her mind here is Maduro. Hi, good night, you're live.
Yeah, good night.
Yes, sir, go ahead, you're live.
Yes, so that's Alexander. So the comments he's saying, right? He was saying Trinidad and Tobago first, right?
Mm-hmm.
His statement put us, yes, he's saying Trinidad and Tobago first, yes? But do you think the statements made did it make it better for our country in a better position or a more worse situation it already in? Because as they say from the news report that they was reading, the India High Commission they respond, right? And the Prime Minister said that the ministers and them should stay in their lane, right? And everybody condemning what the statement he made, right? So, all a statement such as that he made is putting the country first. Because at the end of the day, involving other countries and that kind of thing in it. And at the end, and both Philip Alexander have to understand is that in a position of power in governance, right? Certain things you see can have some real serious impact. So you have to be careful of what you are saying, right? Because that statement he made, right, could put you in a more worse position than we are already in, right? And in the day, right, Trinidad and Tobago is not equipped to handle no type of, right? And people, and also seeing people talking about the agreements and stuff that we had with the United States and stuff like that, right? At the end of the day, everybody realized what the United States doing currently. The same agreements that they made with countries years back, they're using that as bargaining chips and pulling that against countries to create trade deals and all these kinds of things, right? So, putting all your faith in making sure that and saying that America go help you or England go help you and that kind of thing. At the end of the day, these countries have their own problems to deal with, and people have to understand that too. And as I said, what it is I'm saying and everybody's saying, so Alexander with the statements he made, it was not good, and he should have never made it, especially if it may have been untrue. Because now you're putting India now in a real kind of awkward position, right? Because you're involving them in something that doesn't even concern them, right? So, yeah, that is what I have to see, right? So, and you were speaking about the budget and budget deficits.
No, we're going to get to the budget in just a short bit. Promise you that. So you could for sure come back in. All right? I appreciate you so much. Phone lines are open. 483-3208. 483-3208 is the number to call if you want to give your opinion. Philip Alexander, boy. Philip Alexander. 483-3208 once more is the number. But Philip Alexander, while these statements, and this is what I'm saying, I'm condemning these statements, all right? while these statements either may be false or true, whichever in that regard, I think that the meaning behind it was putting Trinidad and Tobago first. Because you have to listen to Philip Alexander's entire life, all right? You just can't listen to that one particular part and say, hey, he's not putting Trinidad first, or he's speaking out of context, blah, 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 all right? The statements that Philip made, for sure, I could say, I don't agree, all right? I don't think that we should be instigating any type of war, especially coming from a government minister, for sure, 100%. If it was Philip as a normal activist, then I understand. And I think Philip will understand and appreciate that as well. But I think, and from how I know and from knowing Minister Alexander, I do think Trinidad and Tobago, that he means the best for this country, and he wants the best for Trinidad and Tobago. But again, your opinion matters. 483-3208 is the number to call, 483-3208, and you can give your own opinion on this. What I am saying, and to comment on that, because a lot of persons are saying that Trinidad and Tobago should stay out of the war, or it's not even a war, the conflict between Venezuela and the United States. And then we're saying that the United States would not even come in and assist Trinidad and Tobago if they leave. Even if they do, they could leave, blah, 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 right? The U.S. is looking for a reason to go into Venezuela. The highest bounty ever placed on anybody's head right now is on Maduro's head. The most amount of money, I think it's what, 50 million? About so? About $50 million is on the head of Maduro. Trump wants him. Trump wants a reason to go in and capture Maduro. They want that. They want a reason. All right? But we well over time. Again, 483-3208 is the number to call. Stay tuned, Trinidad and Tobago. We will be back right after this.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
If your child doesn't understand what they read, SCA becomes 10 times harder. That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage or poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
I am Crystal Bevenash, the only presidential choice for tutor election 2025.
It's time to come together. Together we are
I'm an educator since 1993. 32 years in this noble profession, from OJT at Valencia to ATP at Kumaka, T1 at Malabar, head of department at Valencia South, principal at Barataria, and now SS1 at Northeastern Education District. I've served both tutor and Ministry of Education at all these different levels throughout my years. Let's talk accolades. I joined tutor shortly after becoming an assistant teacher. I served as a staff representative, as a zonal convener. I served as the district executive of St. George's Education District. I also served as the Conference of Delegates, which is the highest decision-making body in tutor. To me, tutor and the Ministry of Education go hand in hand. They both work to serve the nation's children to ensure that they receive the best quality education that is available. And tutor would have allowed me to develop into the individual that I am today. In addition to that, I would have served as a principal, as the principals at the NAPSPA, the National Primary School Principals Association. I also would have been the president of the Association of Principals of Catholic Schools, the principal involved in Sports Council, actually the chairman of the Sports Council of the St. George's Education District, and many more. All of these leadership roles would have been guided by what I would have learned, the principles and so on, in tutor, and all the leadership roles tutor would have allowed me to be part of and grow and develop myself. My leadership philosophy is rooted in servant leadership. I believe in leading by example, not position. I also believe in listening before speaking, and I always put persons before myself. If elected, I intend to lead with humility, empathy, and strength, because I have experienced the same things that you have experienced as a teacher, as a principal, and now as a school supervisor. Allow me to represent you as your president, Crystal Bevan-Ash. I present myself to you as the next president of Tutor. I am you are me, we are Tutor.
October 14th, it's time for the Tutor Rebirth.
Hello? Yeah, here's the thing, upon the overlay. Just click for it. We're training while we go now, and I like Ian Allen tonight. Anyway, here's the thing, right, Trinidad and Tobago. The government spoke significantly about school violence in Trinidad and Tobago, and I don't think that the children getting it or feeling the warnings that the Prime Minister is giving off. The government is putting police officers in schools in a bid to end school violence or to put a stop to school violence. You have children that locking the police officers in a classroom, and it's because the police officer fall asleep. You have children or a parent slapping a child, and then you have this. Look at this. You have this still going on in Trinidad. This is Malik. And the question is whether or not the police officers were there. Look at this. Look at this girl. She's more man than anybody. But this is what you have going on still in schools. People not going to school for an education, they're going to school to fight. And this is in Malik, outside the school compound. And I am so tired, sick and tired. Keep playing it. I am so sick and tired of people recording it and putting it on social media for attention, for likes and views. It does absolutely nothing for you. What you should be focused on and what students should do, and this is what we should be calling on children to do instead of recording a school fight, intervene to end it. pull the child away. Say, hey, no, it's not worth it. Because this is not worth it, Trinidad and Tobago. And to young persons out here, this is not worth it. At all. This is not worth it. School fights should be condemned, and the government should probably do a lot more. Maybe look at, if you're involved in a school fight, YTC one time, I don't know, any type of disciplinary action. It needs to be widespread, because the police officers go into school and they're sleeping. The children go into school and they're fighting. So what to do again, Trinidad and Tobago? What to do again? That's a real question. What to do again? Because it's like they're not getting the message. They're not going to school for an education. They're going to school to hit each other, or to fight for a man, to fight for a woman, to fight for some nonsense because somebody tell me something. And then worse yet, look at the communities. Look at the communities in which persons fighting, and it's Beatum, Sealot, Smover, Laventil. Look at it. This is Malik. And then you know what? Come back. I listened to a school child today. Literally, I listened to a school child today because I was around some of them today. And I don't know them. I was just walking, and I stood up listening to some talk about I got expelled. Now, this girl in primary school, she's in primary school. And I was in Mova area, the Mova Laventil area. I kid you not. This little girl stand up there talking to her friends. And she says, quote, I wanted to kick she in she face. Standard 5, primary school. I wanted to kick she in she face, but I can't get expelled again. Verbatim. I cannot get expelled again. So you get expelled once from a primary school? A primary school, you know. You got expelled from a primary school. They do expulsion in primary schools. And after she said that I got expelled from a primary school, she'd look to say, quote, with her friends, laugh. Well, my mother didn't beat me, you know, I just get real buff. I'm like, oh, this serious, boy? Like this generation that we're raising, it can't be my generation. This key generation, that number, not your generation. Because no, this generation ridiculous, and it's having no kind of consequences at the parental level, none at all. Because as children raising children in today's age, it's children raising children because parents not doing anything about it. You see in videos such as this, right? Such as this happening. And you will do nothing to your child when your child reach home. Outside of coming back to the school to argue with the teacher. If a teacher hit a child, you know what is that? What you hit my child for? My mother working at school, I could tell you. Plenty parents come. Don't talk to my child so, you raise my child. Don't talk to my child so, and ready to hit the teacher. So much so that teacher is scared. And I didn't want to hear the nonsense that people coming to tell me, oh, it's because corporal punishment was removed from schools and it's Kamala that removed the corporal punishments, and that is a reason for all of that. Because when corporal punishment was still there, it was happening. It just didn't have this. A lie? So you tell me, all the time, it had no school fights. As soon as Kamala removed corporal punishment, it has school fights. It's a myth, it's a lie, regardless of what you want to say. But the reality is that it's children raising children, bro. It's children raising children. Somebody say, nah, my parents used to tell the teacher, don't crack him. All right. Yeah, we take WhatsApp voice notes as well, 4833208. It's better to call. If you want, just call 4833208. Just call and say your piece. Your name is not going on air. You have confidential, not to worry, right? So just call. because there are persons that want to call, but they want to send a WhatsApp voice note. I'm not going to interrupt you. You can call on WhatsApp as well if you want. Call on WhatsApp 483-3208. I want to get to, on the last show, leave it. On the last show, Trinidad and Tobago, we went to Ivor Archie. And Ivor Archie today yesterday signaled his resignation. And I want to thank Ivor Archie for signaling that resignation. It is due time that that man demit office. Follow suit with your Prime Minister. Take a listen.
Sometime next year, President Christine Kangaloo will have to select this country's next Chief Justice. This as long-standing Chief Justice Ivor Archie announced his plan to retire next year. Archie made the announcement while delivering his final address at the opening of the 2025-2026 law term. He, however, did not reveal the exact date he plans to demit office, but said he would not be in charge of the judiciary when the occasion is marked in 12 months' time.
No matter how innovative a leader may be, an infusion of fresh ideas from a new leader with different strengths and weaknesses is desirable from time to time. It is also important for me to find new challenges and opportunities as I continue to grow.
Archie said he had no intention of holding on to the post until he reached the mandatory retirement age of 70 in 5 years.
The office of Chief Justice is not private property or something you own or cling to. It is a sacred battle held in trust for one's successors and the nation.
Reflecting on his almost 2-decade stint as Chief Justice, Archie said he was pleased that he was able to achieve his goal of modernizing the judiciary with technology and improving efficiency through numerous reforms.
This is not an exhaustive list, and it is no small achievement in the context of a system of public sector governance and management that is seriously dysfunctional. But I am satisfied that we are in a much better place now than we were in 2008.
Archie also sought to address a proposal by the current government to introduce the position of Lord Chancellor. Archie said while he welcomed assistance in managing the judiciary, he suggested that extensive consultations are required as the role varies in different jurisdictions. The Justice Minister said he was shocked by Archie's announcement, even as there were reports about his possible resignation.
Of course, there are always rumors and so on, but take my surprise that he's actually saying that he's going. And yes, it's a time for some reflection and deciding how is the way forward.
Opposition leader Penelope Beckles took note of Archie's acknowledgement of concerns over the judiciary.
As he said, he understands that the concerns of the public is legitimate. In other words, he's recognizing that people do have reasons still to complain, but it's a work in progress. It's a question of attracting judges. It's a question of ensuring that those who you want to come and serve, who have the kind of experience, how can you attract them?
Senior Counsel Israel Khan is pleased with the decision.
I said good riddance, go your way.
Khan explained that his stance on Archie isn't personal.
He could not have stayed in office. He just couldn't. It's for 7 years. I have nothing personally against the Chief Justice. He's a brilliant jurist, but country first.
Khan said he hopes Archie's successor will not be selected based on race, gender, or political preferences.
Imran Khan is something else, you know. I'll give you that. SC Khan is something else. But thank God, Ivor Archie, good riddance, Bursky. Have a great day. Enjoy your retirement. Goodbye is all I could say. It's not that I don't like him. But it's time for the justice system to go somewhere. It's slow justice in this country, you know, and he is doing nothing. He come to talk about all the ills and the building here, building there, need refurbishing. But like, where was all of this for the past 10 years, Ivor? Where was all of this? Narima Shagona's caught in a mess. A long time Shagona's caught in a mess. But goodbye. Stay tuned, Trinidad and Tobago. We will be back.
Crystal Bevenash, the only presidential choice for tutor election 2025.
It's time to come together. Together we are tutor.
I'm an educator since 1993. 32 years in this noble profession, from OJT at Valencia to ATP at Pumaca, T1 at Malabar, head of department at Valencia South, principal at Barataria, and now SS1 at Northeastern Education District. I've served both tutor and Ministry of Education at all these different levels throughout my years. Let's talk accolades. I joined tutor shortly after becoming an assistant teacher. I served as a staff representative, as a zonal convener. I served as the district executive of St. George's Education District. I also served as the Conference of Delegates, which is the highest decision-making body in tutor. To me, tutor and the Ministry of Education go hand in hand. They both work to serve the nation's children to ensure that they receive the best quality education that is available. And tutor would have allowed me to develop into the individual that I am today. In addition to that, I would have served as a principal, as the principals at the NAPSPA, the National Primary School Principals Association. I also would have been the president of the Association of Principals of Catholic Schools, the principal involved in Sports Council, actually the chairman of the Sports Council of the St. George's Education District, and many more. All of these leadership roles would have been guided by what I would have learned, the principles and so on, in tutor, and all the leadership roles tutor would have allowed me to be part of and grow and develop myself. My leadership philosophy is rooted in servant leadership. I believe in leading by example, not position. I also believe in listening before speaking, and I always put persons before myself. If elected, I intend to lead with humility, empathy, and strength, because I have experienced the same things that you have experienced as a teacher, as a principal, and now as a school supervisor. Allow me to represent you as your president, Crystal Bevenash. I present myself to you as the next president of Tutor. I am you are me, we are Tutor.
October 14th, it's time for the Tutor Rebirth.
What if we told you that one course could boost your child's performance in every SCA paper? That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage or poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Facade Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
All right, welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago overlay.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. So, the PNM is something else. You all remember Colin Imbert, all right, would have stated that there's a lot of, the PNM made a lot of, well, the PNM most, the reason why people didn't vote for the PNM is because PNM and listen. You all remember, I saw this post from Kim Cole, all right, look at it. Because I want to do something tonight. I saw this post from Kim Cole, where Kim Cole, she's a PNM activist, people. I want you all to remember and to hear me when I say this. Kim Cole, whether it's Singh or Wood, whichever one Kim Cole going with, Kim Cole is a PNM. And someone from the PNM camp said this, and PNM stands for Promises Never Materialized, by the way, yeah? But someone from the PNM camp said that last night Colin Imbert gave his views on the PNM's general election defeat. He forget to mention, I raised the price of gas 3 times and they a riot yet. All right? That's what I say. That's what Kim Cole say. Kim Cole say he forget to talk about that. Well, I want to talk to Kim Cole tonight because also what happening is the next one, the PNM consultation, the next one. PNM running the Stand Your Ground consultation right now in PNM constituencies. When is this? Tonight? Tomorrow? Nobody should show up. Nobody should show up. Nobody at all should show up. They're running Stand Your Ground legislation consultation after they condemn this government and say that this government shouldn't be doing that. Imagine that. See if we can get her. I'm trying to call Kim all here. I'm trying to call Kim Cole. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to call Kim Cole and see what's going on with Kim. She trying not to answer the phone. That's what she trying not to do. Because I want to hear from Kim Cole. Play the clip. Not the clip, the video, the picture. Run Kim Cole. You see? Oh God, Kim owe your money? Well, we go get to it tonight. I'm trying to call her. She pretending not to answer the phone. That's what she pretending not to do. And I ain't gonna call her over and over, you know. Don't run. Kim Cole, where you? I'll tell all you. Come back to me. Come, give me my overlays now, please. Give me my overlays. Kim Cole by Column hiding. Kim Cole by Column Imbert hiding. She hiding now. Kim Cole by Column hiding. Anyway. I'll get her for you. People on TikTok want to hear it. Anywho. So Trinidad and Tobago, while we wait for Kim Cole, I did message her, but PNM tend to believe that all they could do is fool the people of Trinidad and Tobago once more, and we will come back and vote for the PNM. So I think Colin Imbert trying to take a page out of Kamala Persad-Bissessa's book. And what Colin Imbert trying to do is apologize to this nation for all of the corruption that they would have run. And the thing is, it's not going to work. The people of Trinidad and Tobago do not want PNM, and they do not want Colin Imbert. What the people of Trinidad and Tobago want is proper governance. Proper governance not just now, but forever. The United National Congress will regain office in 2030. We will. They will. They will regain office in 2030, and they will govern Trinidad and Tobago for another 5 years. Because what is happening now, Trinidad and Tobago, is proper governance for all. Roads are being fixed. Schools are being built. I have a school there, the Lower Mover Government School. All right? It's in the folder, say. Right? The Lower Mover Government School. Kamala, the PNM would have put that down. They would have only started it literally just before the August election, maybe in December or so, 2024. And they would have left that school for over 10 years, Trinidad and Tobago, 10 years. They left it after Kamala Prasad-Bissessa put it down. They did absolutely nothing with this school. Nothing at all. All right? Not only that, but people want to talk about CPEP, and URP as though this government don't know what they're doing. Anyway, stay tuned. We had to go for another break, Trinidad and Tobago. When we come back, we'll talk a bit more and we'll get to, again, I want to remind you all upwards until the budget about the deficit. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SNS Prasad Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Prasad Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Prasad Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
I am Crystal Bevenash, the only presidential choice for Tutor Election 2025.
It's time to come together we are tutor.
I'm an educator since 1993. 32 years in this noble profession, from OJT at Valencia to ATP at Pumaca, T1 at Malabar, head of department at Valencia South, principal at Barataria, and now SS1 at Northeastern Education District. I've served both tutor and Ministry of Education at all these different levels throughout my years. Let's talk accolades. I joined tutor shortly after becoming an assistant teacher. I served as a staff representative, as a zonal convener. I served as the district executive of St. George's Education District. I also served as the Conference of Delegates, which is the highest decision-making body in tutor. To me, tutor and the Ministry of Education go hand in hand. They both work to serve the nation's children to ensure that they receive the best quality education that is available. And tutor would have allowed me to develop into the individual that I am today. In addition to that, I would have served as a principal, as the principals at the NAPSPA, the National Primary School Principals Association. I also would have been the president of the Association of Principals of Catholic Schools, the principal involved in Sports Council, actually the chairman of the Sports Council of the St. George's Education District, and many more. All of these leadership roles would have been guided by what I would have learned, the principles and so on, in tutor, and all the leadership roles tutor would have allowed me to be part of and grow and develop myself. My leadership philosophy is rooted in servant leadership. I believe in leading by example, not position. I also believe in listening before speaking, and I always put persons before myself. If elected, I intend to lead with humility, empathy, and strength, because I have experienced the same things that you have experienced as a teacher, as a principal, and now as a school supervisor. Allow me to represent you as your president, Crystal Bevenash. I present myself to you as the next president of Tutor. I am you are me, we are Tutor.
October 14th, it's time for the Tutor Rebirth.
What if we told you that one course could boost your child's performance in every SCA paper? That's why Learn Smart TT has created an online comprehension and poetry course. This is completely self-paced with all tools accessed online. It's 30 passages, 30 poems. They can be downloaded or answered on our site. From there, students get access to answer sheets that have detailed options of how the answers could have been written. No other product on the market has this. In addition, they get access to a video tutorial with an expert teacher walking them through the passage of poems using high visuals and techniques to ensure they derive meaning. Also, we model how we derived each answer so they can do the same. If you want your child to enjoy all of these benefits and propel in comprehension, SCA, and general academic life, click the link above and register for this course and join hundreds of parents and students who are benefiting.
I have a song for this Trinidad. I have a song for it. Just listen. What stupidness you talking? Trinidad and Tobago, welcome back on the inside. Go play that picture again. Run the picture again, please. Run the picture. Listen, I ain't afraid to say it tonight in Trinidad and Tobago. That is one thing I'm not afraid to say. Kim Cole, whether it's Crystal Harewood or Singh, whichever one Kim Cole is going with tonight, she finally comes out only after the election, when she saw that the PNM no longer holding the coffers of Trinidad and Tobago funds, when Colin member no longer there in the coffers, to ask the question, play that question again, to ask the question, they ain't riot yet. And that is why people didn't vote for PNM, right? Because Imbrade come out to say that, you know, it's because PNM or because some nonsense with you know, what did they say? They don't listen to the people, that's what he said, they don't listen. And then Kim Cole say, well, no, the reason we lost the election is because they raised the price of gas 3 times. Tonight, Trinidad and Tobago is none other than PNM activists on the line. Kim Cole Singh or Kim Cole Crystal Harewood, Howard, whichever. Kim Cole, how are you going tonight?
David, good night. Good night to you and good night to your four viewers, right? With all due respect. I mean, I know that you would be, you know, looking for mileage and things like that, but if it is you want to have any kind of discourse or discussion, it would be respectfully address me accordingly. I
am addressing you accordingly, you know. Kim Cole Singh when you're with UNC, and then Kim Cole Crystal Howard when you're with PNM. Isn't that correct?
You worked with me, David. Let us clear some things up here. You have worked with me probably from 2014, 15 at Synergy TV, 16 maybe around there. And I find it bizarre that for somebody who was actually even the producer of my own show, The Courtroom, you still don't, you know or understand, or you pretend to try to sell your own narrative, for views or to impress your little 4 viewers. But I'm saying to you, my name is Crystal Howard, and as everybody, most people in media, they would have their media sobriquet or, their whatever the stage name. I'm not the first, I'm definitely not going to be the last. when it comes to Kim Cole and the Singh, there was a point in time I was trolling the UNC, and you would know, given that you're a person who is on social media, you would know what the term trolling is. So I was actually trolling the UNC, particularly the political leader or the political misleader, the opposition misleader at the time, right? You know, who is now the Prime Minister, and it wasn't a slip of my tongue, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar. I was trolling her because my stance then obviously will still remain, wherein she does not like, you know, the Afro-Trinbagonian community.
I don't know what gives you that.
Let me finish. The play on the name Kim Cole Singh, it was actually a form of protest in that the only way you can get your just dues or be respected or appreciated in the Kamala Persad-Bissessar-led UNC is if you're East Indian. And that is what the Kim Cole Singh part of this was. Nothing more, nothing less. So my name is Crystal Howard. I got the Howard from my marriage. And Kim Cole, as I said to you, is a media personality. Sonny Bling is Sonny Bling. I mean, obviously, that's not his name. You have other persons. So I don't see a reason for, you know, trying to cast any sort of aspersion when it comes to my name and things like that.
Kim, let's get down to the real business tonight, all right? Let's get down to the real business. You would have posted on social media and said, well, now coming out and condemning the PNM on the, general election defeat. In fact, you're coming right off of what former Finance Minister Coleman Barrett would have stated there on social media. Tell me, is there major discourse in the PNM right now? I mean, from what we could see, from your own very political leader, Penelope Beckles, it seems as though they're trying to figure out who's the real opposition in the party, whether or not it's Penelope or Stuart Young. So which is it, Kim?
Right. So I think your question ought to be: is there discord in the PNM as opposed to discourse?
Whichever one,
that's
Kim.
the first thing. And the second thing, well, it's two totally different things, right?
Talk to me. Go ahead.
And
which is it? Get to it. Which is it? Is there any type of political division happening within the People's National Movement or the Promises Never Matter movement? Is there any?
And the second thing, before you decided to interrupt me, was I didn't suddenly decide to, have a comment to make with regards to, the utterances of Mr. Imbert as well as others. But at some point in time, so the PNM, we have a culture and we have a tradition where we do not air our dirty linen in public.
Corruption. They have a culture of corruption. That's what they have in the PNM. But tell me, go ahead.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not in control of what I say or what I write. I am in control of what I write. I'm not in control of what you may want to interpret or what spin you would want to put on it. And my post was just that. They raised the price of gas 3 times and they didn't riot yet. And I said that they rioted with their finger. And, basic English, you'd see that it is captioned. So I did insert the quotation marks because I was quoting Imbert. And that's what it is, nothing more, nothing less.
Do you still support the PNM, Kim? And who is your political leader?
And
who is your listen first. Who is your political leader, Kim Cole? Is it Penelope Beckles or is it Stuart Young? Or maybe you're supporting the wannabe down Laventille West? Who is your political leader?
Well, as far as I am aware, there is one political leader in the PNM, and that is Penelope Beckles. Penelope Beckles Robinson. This is Penelope Beckles Robinson, the Honorable Penelope Beckles Robinson. And until such time where another political leader is elected, that is the only political leader that the PNM recognizes.
And given now, because I think the country wants to know, PNM business is funny, but I think the country wants to know, Kim, you had to tell the country whether or not you supported the former Prime Minister, not Stuart Young though, just in case you forget. But Keith Rowley, do you support the son, given the reins of political stewardship to Stuart Young?
Well, in the first instance, that is Dr. Keith Rowley, to you.
To you, that is your prime minister, and he would always be your prime minister. He's not my prime minister. From a black man to a black man, he don't represent me. He doesn't represent me. He represents you. You are the one, again. You said you start off this live telling me that I worked with you. You worked with me too, both on Synergy Entertainment Television Network, and I was there with you when you was at UNC. Unfortunately, I was there when you turned a PNM. You're still a PNM now. I don't know why. They're no longer in government, and maybe you should be looking at what you could get. But if you're not looking at what you could get, you support Stuart Young? Or you support that transition? You support how Rowley made him Prime Minister?
Dr. Rowley didn't make Stuart Young Prime Minister.
So what made him Prime Minister?
And there was a process that took place in Tobago, and he was elected as the Prime Minister.
You think so?
A very quick course in, a basic course in the Constitution, or even just read the Representation of the People's Act, and you will have an understanding as to how things can be done. So there was nothing illegal, there was nothing untoward with what was done. The members of Parliament, they have their constitutional right, and they are the ones who elect a Prime Minister given certain circumstances as is outlined in the Constitution.
Kim,
that is what occurred.
I know you to be someone that is much more educational than that. I have more education than that. You went out and vote. You went out and voted for Stuart Young. There was some secret ballot inside a Balize or something?
I don't understand the question. When the election bell was rung on the 28th of April, I voted for the People's National Movement.
How did that work out for you?
The PNM is in opposition because we recognize we in the PNM recognize democracy. We are not the UNC who has, when they lose and stuff like that, has to go touting all over town that, PNM thief and they want a recount and this and that the next day too.
So that's why all they're apologizing now. That's why the PNM apologizing, and that's why now on social media you're condemning your own people you vote for, because as far as I know, Colum win his seat. So I know what you're trying to say. I mean, we have room on this side, Kim Cole, the Prime Minister, Kamala.
As I indicated to you, I am in control of what I write. I'm not in control of what you interpret, or your ability or lack thereof to interpret things that are, pretty obvious. I am a member of the PNM. I have no intentions. This is you called me for an interview. You are asking me questions. Don't speak over me when I'm speaking. Respectfully.
Go ahead.
You ask me questions and I give you answers.
Talk, preach your PNM propaganda, because this is the only time you all will get again. Preach it. Thought so. But no worries, Kim. On this side of the house, there's always room for every single individual.
You cannot invite me into something that I left. I left the UNC
and
with my chest
just like Anita Haynes. Anita Haynes left the UNC as well. She left the UNC. The major difference here, Kim Cole, is that us on this side, we always welcome you back home. So if it is that this post...
You cannot welcome me into a place that I have no interest in being.
If it was this post was a crime.
The UNC. I have no interest in, supporting the crime minister. And again, it's not a slip of my tongue. Kamala Prasad Bisasa, toast bread. As far as I am aware, she's currently surviving on, badly burnt toast bread and dialysis 3 times a week. I extend, best wishes to her, and I hope that her health improves. But I am not prepared to support that lady and her nonsense and her bitterness and her hatred towards a specific set of people in this country, her divisive brand and style of politics. It's just not.
And I would like to make it known that it is the very Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that your party, your PNM, say they support as well, that came out just a few weeks ago and said that crime is down. So you could call it the crime minister how much you want. It is a fact that every single time PNM is in power.
That is what they say.
That is the truth. If you support your own party, how you want me to interpret that this time?
That is a conversation. That's a
It
conversation.
is the facts, and what you all fail to recognize on that side is the facts. You all on propaganda on that side.
That is your opinion, and you are entitled to that.
That's the fact. You're entitled to your opinion too, but the truth is, crime is down. Crime is down, Kim Cole. So far for the year, we have recorded over 100
I am counting at least two murders. I'm counting every day more brazen murders. You know, but again, crime is, I am not here to politicize crime. When I say she's the crime minister, you take it out of context because, again, I am not in control of what you interpret. I am only in control of the things that I say.
We appreciate you, Kim Cole, don't worry. But we always have room on the side. We won't welcome you back, but not to worry. We have room on the side for you because I see that this was a cry for help. This was a cry for help. I appreciate you, Kim Cole.
I don't need you, you know, somebody who is not even recognized by the UNC, to try to give me an invitation. If I have any interest in being there, I know who to call, and she will answer my call.
Let's put that to the test now, Kim.
So you're not there yet.
Give me the phone. Give me the phone. Give her. Let's put that to the test now, Kim. You're still there or you're gone? Because Kim Cole always hiding, you know. You only come out now to talk because you have a mouth to talk and you get a platform to talk on. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Trinidad and Tobago, let us make it known that this here, Kim Cole Singh, is none other than a PNM activist looking for a walk. Let's not forget that. You're a PNM activist looking for a walk.
Look, David, best wishes to you and the TV program and your 4 viewers. I know that you were, my interview and my conversation is not, you know, what you were hoping to get. I mean, similarly to what you were hoping to achieve down at the Queen's Park Savannah, but I mean, seems as though
how that went before you go, because you just said something there, Kim. You and I have a history. You and I have a history, Kim Cole. How was that? Because we talking. How was that, Kim Cole? How was Out at the Savannah? I'll tell you how Out at the Savannah went. Kim Cole tried to bring me to court or bring me before the station to say X, Y, and Z is what happened. Case dismissed. That's what happened there. Case dismissed. 460-4021 is the number to call Trinidad and Tobago. 460-40. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going back to my old self. The number to call is 483-3208. 483-3208 is the number to call. There's a lot of persons that want to say something tonight. So, hi, good night. You're live. Save this. Hi, good night. You're live. All right, brother. Tell people mad out here, you know. People mad out here. Anyway, 483-3208 is the number to call for those of you that want to come on and say something. Stay tuned. We have one more commercial break to take. When we come back, we'll take some calls and we'll deal with Kim. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SNS Facade Group of Companies, a dynamic community-driven group serving multiple industries with excellence and integrity. At SNS Facade Supermarket, we're committed to community, providing vessel export delivery, custom food services, local delivery, wholesale solutions, fresh produce, in-house bakery, and premium meats. Discover relaxation reimagined at Sunset Beach Resort, with beachfront stays and dining that blends local flavor with ocean views, perfect for families and couples. At Cuts and Curve Fitness Center, where health meets lifestyle, with personal training, meal plans, a full gym, and on-site cafe. The SNS Prasad Group of Companies, building value, trust, and community across everything we do.
Welcome back, Trinidad and Tobago. 483-3208 as the phone lines remain open. As we just finished speaking with PNM activist Kim Cole Singh there, who supports heavily the People's National Movement. And there's a lot of persons that want to say something. So those of you on the TikTok Live, you could guest request or the phone number to call 483-3208 to come on and just say something real quick before we wrap up tonight. But no doubt about it, Trinidad and Tobago, whenever you see this photo across social media, just know that this is a PNM activist. She's no longer and is not affiliated with the United National Congress and is 100% just a PNM activist and looking for some sort of attention. All right? Just remember that. Because now is the only time that PNM could find something to say on social media. Look at this. Now is when you come out to say something. I'm not seeing the request if you requested, but let me bring you in. All right? So, hi, good night, your life.
Okay, good night, sir.
Good night.
I want to speak about how Laventilians has voted for the PNM. Like we did vote for Fitzgerald Hines back in 2015, and he did nothing for us. Also, we voted for Cream Marshall when he is also doing nothing for us. Through the last 10 years, my mother been going for food cards, house rent, all them stuff, and the PNM never did nothing for them. And she was working, and I need sick up a contractor who was a PNM person who was treating her badly, so much that they was like goats. There, I went there and I saw they was like goats. And I was like, this was not right. This was not comfortable. This was not good.
But then my question is, why still vote PNM? Why you all still voting PNM in Laventil?
I did not vote for the PNM. I did choose to vote for the UNC, and I need seeing what they was not doing for Trinidad, and I did choose to not take a blind vote.
Good man.
That was my reason to vote in UNC. I am from Laventil. I am black. I am not racist. I support Kamala with the choices that she's making and the whole party, because that is better financial choices for Trinidad than what the PNM was doing.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much.
Yes, sir.
All right. That's good, Trinidad and Tobago, that people coming out from those very communities and seeing and wanting something different, wanting change, because it are people jumping from UNC to PNM and then back to UNC only when it's convenient to them. It's all about who holding the coffers for some persons. That is what it's about. Who holding the coffers and who holding the pocket to money for some persons. I don't know why Laventil West continue even voting for PNM all this time, from Hanks to the next nincompoop, what's his name, Marcel. And if you put a dog there, they go vote for the dog. You put this water bottle, they'll vote for that water bottle. That's what they'll do in Laventil. But anyway, we out of time, Trinidad and Tobago. I seen some other persons want to come in, but we out of time. We out of time. We out of time. It's 17 minutes over already. I want to thank the people of Trinidad and Tobago for joining tonight. Thank you for being a part of the program. We will continue this on Saturday. Saturday's the next show, right? Saturday we'll continue this from 8 to 9 p.m. So all of you on TikTok, if you want to see some of the clips, have one phone. If you have two phones, one phone on YouTube, one phone on TikTok. So you can see the clip, and then you can follow along right here on TikTok if you want to stay on TikTok, all right? So thank you again for joining us tonight, and do enjoy the rest of your day. We'll be back again at it on Saturday. Have a great day.